I spent $50 on a premium habit tracking app last year. $50. And do you know how long I actually used it? 4 days. I'm looking at the subscription receipt right now, and honestly, I feel a mix of stupidity and shame. I thought buying the perfect tool would magically fix my messy financial habits. Instead, it just became another digital graveyard, another app icon I scrolled past because I was too guilty to open it. This is my real-time journey, not expert advice. Here is exactly what happened. It started with the best intentions. I wanted to apply the atomic habits philosophy to my money. I wanted to track the 1% wins, like packing my lunch or waiting 24 hours before buying something. So I downloaded this sophisticated app. It had charts, streaks, and notifications. But here is the raw truth. The friction killed me. Every time I wanted to log a simple win, I had to unlock my phone, ignore the red notification badges on Instagram and email, find the app, wait for it to load, and navigate 3 menus. By the time I got there, the moment was gone. I realized that my digital life is where my stress lives. My phone is a portal to work emails, social media comparison traps, and advertisements asking me to spend money. Trying to build good financial habits in that environment felt like trying to meditate in the middle of a construction site. I wasn't tracking my habits, I was just getting distracted. So last week I did something analog. I walked into a drugstore, walked past the electronics aisle, and picked up a generic black and white composition notebook. It cost me exactly $1,199 plus tax. No batteries, no subscriptions, no notifications screaming that I'm behind schedule. Just paper. It felt weirdly quiet. I sat down at my kitchen table with a cheap pen, opened to the first blank page, and just stared at it. I felt this strange resistance. I'm so used to apps telling me what to track or how to format my life. With this notebook, I had to decide. And honestly, that terrified me a little bit. Was I going to mess this up too? Was this just another $2 wasted? But then I wrote the date at the top of the page. Then I wrote just one line. And unlike the app, the notebook didn't judge me. It just sat there, waiting for me to show up. So let me open this thing up and show you the mess. And I mean it. It is a mess. If you go on social media, you see these bullet journals that look like art projects with calligraphy headers and perfect color coding. That is not this. My notebook looks like it was written by a tired person trying to survive capitalism, because that's exactly what it is. I drew 3 simple columns. That's it. No complex coding system. Just 3 columns for the 3 atomic habits I'm trying to install right now. Column 1 is, check the bank. This sounds ridiculous to some of you, but for me this is the scary one. I have a habit of ostriching, burying my head in the sand when I'm stressed about money. If I don't look, the debt isn't real, right? So my first tiny habit is just opening the banking app. I don't even have to do anything. I just have to look at the number. Column 2 is no spend. This just means I didn't spend money on anything non-essential. Groceries and bills don't count. I'm talking about the impulsive stuff, the coffee I could have made at home, the digital game skin, the random snack at the gas station. Column 3 is the 1% move. Did I do one tiny thing to make my financial future better? Did I transfer $5 to savings? Did I list one old book on eBay? Did I read one page of a finance book? Here is the reality of my first week. Monday, I was on fire. 3 big fat X's in the columns. I felt like a financial genius. I used a thick black pen, and let me tell you, the physical sensation of scratching that X onto the paper felt heavy, real. When an app plays a sound effect, it's just noise. But pressing ink into paper? That felt like I was carving a new identity. But then came Tuesday. I checked the bank. X. I did a 1% move. I transferred $2 to my emergency fund. X. But the middle column, the no spend, blank. I bought a takeout sandwich because I was lazy. In the app I used to have, this would be a disaster. The streak would be broken. The app would send me a notification saying, you missed a day. It felt punitive. It felt like I had failed the game, so why keep playing? But looking at the notebook, it was just a blank space. The paper didn't yell at me. It didn't turn red. It just sat there, quietly documenting the truth. Wednesday was worse. Wednesday is completely blank. I didn't check the bank because I knew I'd be mad about the sandwich from Tuesday. I spent money again. I didn't do a 1% move. When I looked at that empty row on Thursday morning, I didn't feel shame. I felt curiosity. The blank space made me ask, why? Why did Wednesday fall apart? I realized Wednesday fell apart because I stayed up too late Tuesday night. I was tired, so my willpower was 0. The notebook showed me that my spending problem wasn't about money. It was about sleep. That is the power of this ugly $2 system. It's not trying to gamify my life. It's just holding up a mirror. When I see the ink, I see my effort. When I see the blank space, I see where I need to be gentler with myself. I'm not chasing a high score anymore. I'm just trying to fill in one more box today than I did yesterday. There is a concept in Atomic Habits called making it satisfying. The brain needs an immediate reward to stick with a habit, especially when the long-term reward, like being debt-free, is years away. That is why the notebook works when the app failed. In a digital world, our money feels invisible. I swipe a card and nothing physically leaves my hand. I earn a paycheck and it's just pixels on a screen. It doesn't feel real, so the consequences don't feel real either, but this notebook, it is physical evidence. When I pick up that pen to mark an X for a no-spend day, I get a tiny hit of dopamine. It is tactile. It is permanent. I created that X. It proves that for 24 hours I was in control. It sounds so small, but when you feel like you are drowning in debt, that tiny moment of control is everything. The lesson I learned this week isn't really about stationery, it's about friction. The app added friction to the tracking, so I stopped doing it. The notebook removed the friction. It sits open on my desk. I can't minimize it. I can't swipe it away. It forces me to be present with my journey, even and especially on the days I mess up. I'm not saying a $2 notebook will solve all my problems. I still have the debt. I still have the bad impulses. But now I have a map. And for the first time in a long time, I'm actually looking at the road. My 1% mission for tomorrow is simple. You don't need to buy a notebook. Just find a scrap of paper or the back of an envelope. Write down $1 amount you spend tomorrow, just one. Make the invisible visible. If you do want a notebook, go to the dollar store. Keep the budget under $2. Let me know in the comments, are you team app or team analog? I am not a financial expert or advisor. This content is for documenting my personal journey and for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research before making any financial decisions.